Thank you for inviting me back, CTSB. I am, very happy to have you here, especially I'm working on a show at the moment, an exhibit for a museum. It is in the UK, but hopefully it will come here afterwards. So the show, what I've decided to do today is to work on a piece that I want to integrate into the exhibit. Because I'm putting together sort of 8 different eras from my childhood of the 50s, where I got my inspiration, through until today. So I'm actually, at the moment, we are going to be in the 1980s. So it is a mixture of what I did in the 80s, which was a lot of photo shoots and cosmetic line, and a little bit of painting, my first artwork, which was this artwork. This is my fire, earth, air, and water paintings, which actually inspired my makeup products, which are down here. They were kits. Say, for instance, they were kits, color kits. This is the air that I've kept. Fortunately, I've kept some, so they will find their way into the show. I've kept a lot of them. And then I did, the same theme, fire, earth, air, and water in the astrological kit. So this was this is the Sagittarius kit. Nice and bright and lively. So there we have the part of what I did in the 80s. And what I'm trying to integrate into this, I know the space, I have really fantastic walls. It's in the main gallery of the museum. And so I've planned it out, physically. And I think that's interesting for a lot of you because, where do you get your inspiration? Obviously, the inspiration that I have for this is I'm making, in other words, each era, like the 80s, 70s, everything, is its own painting. It's an assembly of things. So it's an assembly of colors and feelings. And so this one is the 80s. It's not complete and it could change. And in fact, it could change dramatically. But as you can see here, we have some of the fashion outfits that I fortunately purchased at that time because I worked with these designers like John Galliano and Stephen Sprouse. And I still have them. So here we have the John Galliano, and these will be in the exhibit because there is an incredible fashion museum in Sunderland, which is where the museum is. And I know the students are all, very excited about the fact that I'm incorporating fashion into it. And as far as I'm concerned, makeup, beauty can't be separated from the whole. So the face is a part of the whole. So it does make a difference. You're expressing yourself with your clothing, you're expressing yourself with your hair, you're expressing yourself with your art. So what I'm planning on doing is doing something similar to this, as I showed you, to go onto the head. This is a piece I did a number of years ago. I didn't do it in the 80s. I did it later than the 80s. But I'm incorporating pieces into each exhibit that might be more modern but work together with the exhibit. For instance, with the John Galliano one, so for John Galliano one, he did, this is actually in the 80s that I used to work with John Galliano, so it was before he worked with Dior. And I used to do a very 20s, he loved the 20s eye, the very big smoky eye. So this isn't a photograph of what I did for him, but it is a photograph that I have taken of a model who modeled for me in one of my classes. And I actually took the photograph. What I thought was interesting was I took the photograph from the screen. This was a Zoom class. I normally give them live, but this was a Zoom class. It's a Japanese audience. And so what I did was I saw what was on the screen and I photographed the screen. In other words, I did the makeup, I did the demonstration, and I saw what was shown on the screen and I photographed the screen. So it distorts the face, which is perfect because I want to be able to do, like I said, something like this head, a rather large head coming off the outfit. I'm not too sure of the height, so I'm going to check out that in October because the show is actually in 2025, like February, March, April of 2025. So I visit the museum every time I go there, and I do have measurements, but certain measurements, I don't know why, of course, I always forget. So I'm doing a very large head here. This is sort of my collage mixed media work. What I did for this was, this is, like I said, the image, and I want it to be cut so it's sort of an angular, it's a bit like an ice cream cone, a little bit like an ice cream cone. And I already worked on this. I pasted it with, and I'll show you, because I'll do something over there. Here I actually used a piece of sort of board that I had because it was the right size. I got the right size. I measured the photograph. I decided the size I wanted it. And, you know, these are actual Xeroxes. They're laser prints, not inkjet, because inkjet can dissolve. It's better to use a laser print if you're doing this type of work. I did the measurements so that it would be a 17 by 11 laser print, you know, like this. These are 17 by 11, so that each image would fit on there. Because I wanted something narrow, I thought, oh, the measurements will be good. I'll just do it 17 across. And 17 across, and if I'm doing it, say, 48, I think this is 48 down, then I need like 1, 2, 3, 4. I ended up with 5 pieces, but I then had to adjust some of the pieces. You could do it, you know, if you're a perfectionist. Most people would do it like perfectly. They measure everything out. I'm not so good at that. So I did have to adjust with the T-square and the X-Acto knife. I had to take some of the, you know, let me see if I've got one that I could cut. I've lined the Xerox up with the edge of of course the edge of the cardboard has to be straight that you're cutting on. Then I put the T-square on it, just for those of you who are novices, and get a good, make sure your blade's very sharp, and then cut it off. So what I did with these, let me show you here. For instance, this piece that I cut off here, where was it? It was on this piece. So I started at the top because those pieces were sort of perfect, although, you know, I hadn't cut them perfect. You can see there's some filling in needs doing. But I'm not too worried about that because I do a lot with painting. I do painting and I do a pulling off of some of the pieces. I tear off some of the pieces. But this, for instance, was here, this piece. It was part of this piece. And what I did was when I got here, well, the same thing here. This one was too big. So I just folded it back and I put a crease in it. And then I took it over here and I cut it. And the same thing, the bottom one, you can see it's slightly smaller. This one I did. All right, now I'm going to show you for the pasting, heavy, what I'm using the pasting. And I also use a brush that I don't have to worry too much about because I don't like getting, let me see, I brought one out. Maybe I put it over here. Yes, I did. It's not a great one. Now, I'm going to show you, I'm going to try, when I'm working on something, I often do more than one version. And I hate this painting. I've never managed to do anything good with it. I keep painting it over and over again. It doesn't work. So I'm going to use this. and put the face, it's a smaller face than what I'm doing over there. I'm going to start off putting this in the middle. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Let me see. I'll have a neck on it. Will I have a neck? Oh, that goes up there. So I'll have to cut that. But I rather like the idea of having a neck on it. And I could just paint the neck, or I could leave. But I think almost like that with the color around works. But let's see what this gives me. And I could do that. More another moustache. Oh, it's a bigger nose. We could do that. We could have another eye. She's got hair up there. Let's try this down here. There. Oh, we need that side of the face. If we take that away. So I just can play around with whatever I have made. Do I put something like that up there? And I can go on playing with these. This is a bigger face. Do we prefer it bigger? No, I rather like this on here. So I'm going to begin with this, and I'm going to paint this. I'm not going to paint this. I'm going to put this is the heavy gel gloss. I don't normally use the heavy gel gloss. I use the thinner one because it's much easier, and I also don't usually use the gloss. I use the more matte type of medium. It's a gel medium because of, I can add shine always in the end. But this is what I happen to have. So this is what I'm going to use. All right, so I don't have to, because there's something underneath it, I don't have to worry too much about the edges. So let me just put this over. If it's to stick it on, there's also other types of glue, but if it's to stick it on, the same thing. You don't have to worry too much about the direction of the strokes. If it's a final coat, you want to look at them in light. Sometimes it's better that the strokes go down as opposed to going across. I want to make sure that I get the glue in all the cracks there onto the edges. All right, let's try this. Did I have it there? Yeah, maybe we'll leave that. Is that good? Let me check out the neck. Do we like it like that, or do we like it a bit more to the left? I think I like it a little bit more to the left. And then I work from the inside, pressing it to the outside. The bubbles can appear. You have to be, some people are really bothered by bubbles, but because of the way I do it and using paint afterwards, I don't mind too much. I sometimes rather like the effect, and then I cut the bubbles with the X-Acto knife and tear the page a little. And I can probably do that on here. Let's put the neck on. Here we can do that thing like I said. Do we do it? Because I don't like to go over. I mean, you could say let's paste this on top of that, but I wouldn't advise it because it can create a lot of problems with the, although you can always solve those, but let me move it a little bit. And then let me move it. This is what I was saying about bending it and have it fit there. Is it right at the edge? I don't mind if it's, yeah, let's do that. All right, I'm going over here to cut it. Now I'm going to turn it around. You know why? Because I cut that side with my scissors, so it's not going to be as straight as as this side. This side is the edge of the page, so it's better. The straighter the edge, the better. I've just remembered that. Makes it a little more difficult because of the line it up. There it is. Let's do this. So I'm just going to put this other piece on and we'll forget about the rest for the moment, and I'll go back and do a little painting maybe on the other. Let's see, or maybe we do another piece. Oh, put the glue there. I mean, I could put, the glue on the paper, or I could do both. I just don't feel it's necessary, so. Because I'm going to be putting another layer on top. Let's have a look at the top here, see if I do want to put something in here. I mean, this face is not the same size as the other one, but if I put it off a bit, let's see what happens. Maybe I just tear around the eye. Let me do that. Let me do that. Now I might have a bit of a problem there because of it overlaps. I don't really like that happening, but never mind. I'll do it. I'll fix it afterwards if I have to. I might leave it like that. Let's see if there's anything else for the moment. Could be something. Oh, there's a big eye. That's a big, maybe it'll give me some more hair over there. Yeah, let's do that. Now that was where her ear was, but and there's her eyebrow. But I mean, they don't have to, it depends, what you're doing. But I don't need it to line up. Let me go over. Yeah, I'm going to leave it for the moment because I want to think about it. And with this one, to get a rougher feel, with this one, with the one over there, the large face, I actually I let this dry, and I put another layer of the medium, of the gel medium. I put another layer of the gel medium on top of it before I paint. That's very handy, because if you've got that gel medium on and you put the paint on, you can wipe it off if you don't like what you see, but you have to do it quickly, but you can do it. Whereas this, because of the Xerox, I can paint on top, and once I've painted on top, that's it. If I haven't put another layer of gel medium on top of it, which I don't think I'll do. I think might go in and paint around. So this is how I'm planning on using the heads I'm doing. I mean, I'll probably put it inside of the clothes a bit, and either that one actually could possibly work. It would really depend on the background, so maybe I'll take more than one to try it out. You see, there's this size. Maybe I will take one. I'll do one this size too. This one is something that I had done in the past, which is how it will be when it's finished, with the resin on top. I do a few coats of the gel, and then I'll pour resin on top. This has pieces. And then let's have a look at the one that I think, which is the nearest to what I had imagined. Let me see. Not quite sure how. Yeah, I might have a big head like that. I'm not quite sure. It's the same thing. It would probably, or maybe be. Let me try it behind. And it's not necessarily. I will have it coming out of the neck, but it could be going down. It could be going. I'm not quite sure yet how. And this one definitely needs painting and then pouring of the resin. But I'm not quite sure. Let me take this and paint, and yeah, I rather like the imperfection that you get, like photographing something from the screen and also something that could possibly be in movement. I love that, and it's fairly small on your camera, so when you enlarge it, it becomes a little more blurry. I don't mind any of that. And the same thing with the Xeroxes, so you're saying, why don't you do a photograph like the right size and it's so perfect? It's sort of not how I am. I love working with Xeroxes. So I've put some black on here. I'm going to accentuate the mustache a bit, and maybe around the mouth. I have, like I said, I'd put another coat of resin on top, so it's protected if I want to. Let's see if it works there. Getting that black off. See if it comes off. I'll get a little water. What I'm saying, if I want to, I mean, I don't mind that, but I just want to show you. You see, it comes off, whereas probably on the other side it shouldn't. It won't, because it'll be the. The actual paint is different, You can see there's a difference between. I don't mind that. What I do mind, I think I'll fill in this hole a bit here, where there's a separation between the. And I mean, I could do more layers. And I need to think more. I have set up some, turquoise color to accentuate the color. But what I like about this image is I like the fact that it is blurry and soft, and I don't want to lose that. So I have to give it some thought to think about how much I should add to the eye. And maybe I don't. I mean, I need to do the white here. Look, you can see how that's bubbled. You see how the white is bubbled? So that would be a problem when so let me take it off. I could lift it up, but I think I'll take it off. And then of course, take that bubble away. I don't want to go too far. And then I'll put maybe some gel, touch of gel on it, and I'll patch that up afterwards, or leave it black. And we'll see. I'm not quite sure what I'll do. I might leave it. No, I think I'll patch it up. I think I want it fairly. I'll just put white on it after. I'm not going to do that now because I need each layer to dry perfectly. All right, so I think that just showing you a little of what I'm working on at the moment. Hopefully you've been able to learn from it. It hasn't been too simple. And thank you very much for Berkshire TV, South Berkshire. All right. For having me on again and letting me show you what I'm doing, what I'm up to at the moment.